What's up, everybody? It's TheOmegaLegend, and over the past few days since the Civil War trailers dropped, there's been a little freeze frame of this guy sitting in the yellow tube in the trailer, and there's more than one theory on who it could be. I put up a video that I'll have on the channel about it possibly being Quicksilver, but there's some other theories that are really interesting in who it could be and why, and I'm gonna just go through all of them and explain why it actually makes sense, and you'll decide who you think is actually in that tube. First off is the obvious Quicksilver. I already did a video on it. It's pretty simple. It looks like Quicksilver, pretty much shaped like him a little bit. Everybody wants him back, so they're kind of like trying to place that image of it being Quicksilver. His outfit in the tube resembles Quicksilver's from Age of Ultron a little bit, and the purpose of him actually being in there, even though he was captured by S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe this was a tool to try to get Scarlet Witch to switch sides, like, hey, you brought your brother back. I don't know. It could be cloning him, trying to make more of the what did they call them? Enhanced. But everybody's heard the Quicksilver theory already. Let's get to some of these other ones that are actually very, very interesting and would probably make for a crazy twist in the movie. Let's start off with mine. That could be General Ross. Why do I think it's General Ross? Because if you look at it real close, it could possibly be the figure of an old man. Now, why would General Ross be in there? You see a lot of precipitation on the glass of that little chamber. It kind of reminds me of a cryo chamber. Maybe he's trying to cool off. Why would General Ross need to cool off? If you know from the comics, he eventually becomes what we call the Red Hulk. Now, instead of getting stronger with his anger, he actually gets hotter, and I think he can go supernova or just below that. He gets very, very hot, so maybe it's like a play on that, on him having to cool off. You know, Cap stumbles in there like, oh, so this is the guy you signed up to work for. See, told you, Tony. And then that's when he gets the backhand of justice. You know, now he actually got his power from experimenting with the Hulk's blood that he actually captured at one point. Remember that the leader did have samples. Well, the guy who becomes the leader did have samples of, you know, Hulk's blood. So who knows? They're bringing that movie back into continuity, so anything's possible. I feel like there has to be a reason why they specifically chose General Ross, not just to say, oh, hey, it's still part of the universe. Nah, I think it's a little bit deeper than that. There are rumors of the Hulk being in Civil War. I know he was a part of the original script and cut out. But you know, with the Anthony Mackie comments, I don't know. I say it's still on the table. I mean, they kept Spider-Man's suit hidden when we had photos of almost everywhere on that airport, and we just seen Spider-Man, so anything is possible. But let's go to the next theory. The next theory is that it's a clone of Bucky, the Winter Soldier himself. Now, in the beginning of the trailer, when you see those doors open, you can't clearly see it, but if you zoom in, you can see a Hydra symbol on the wall. So it's possible that they were in there cloning Bucky. Now, why would Tony Stark be defending that? Well, maybe he's not necessarily defending it, but he's like, Steve, for the last time, you do not have authority to make any actions here. I'm an Avenger. You're fired. You know, that could be the whole reason why they're fighting in there, or he's still kind of salty about whatever or whoever causes, you know, that blast to happen to War Machine. It's not Winter Soldier, clearly. That's just clever editing. But you know, Hydra could have been cloning Bucky to try to make more assassins. You know, they did lose their asset at the end of Winter Soldier. He's not working for Hydra no more. He was the most deadly assassin they had for over like, what, 50, 70 years or so? It could fit. It could be a thing. And then you see, you know, maybe somebody's covering up, or I don't know. But there's the theory on that, and that's the only way I could see Bucky cloning even making sense. I highly doubt General Ross is the one cloning it. So maybe it's our next theory that's been cloning him, and our next theory is Baron Zemo, in case you forgot he was in the movie. Now, why would Zemo be locked up into a chamber? I have absolutely no clue. You know, but maybe it's Zemo. I mean, it's a Hydra facility. Zemo's the main villain. It's not Iron Man, folks. You know, spoiler, surprise, if you haven't been paying attention. Marvel's done a great job at hiding him. You know, maybe the glass is actually purposely blurred. It could be Zemo. We have absolutely no clue or a hint as to what Zemo looks like. Everybody's just been worried about Spider-Man. The most that we know about how Zemo looks is that he doesn't have a mask. So is it possible? Yeah. I mean, we've seen Crossbones, barely. Who's to say that wasn't like the first little high, Zemo's right in front of your face and you don't even know it? It's a Hydra facility, just like I said. Steve and Bucky are there to take something out. Clearly, they're not there for s'mores. And you obviously see that Iron Man's not there just automatically guns blazing. He's kind of like, we got to handle this, but not with you. I'm not friends with you. So, you know, maybe it's a little conflict. Like, I'm the one who has the authority here, not you. Could be Baron Zemo. Our next theory, which is a nice little nod to the comics, but I highly doubt this is true, is that it's Ragnarok himself in there. Now, I know you're thinking, whoa, Thor Ragnarok, I thought that was a movie. Ragnarok has two different kind of meanings. One of them is the storyline where Asgard pretty much went to shit. Everything was just going crazy. Everybody was dying in a Thor movie. That's going to be the Thor movie. But Ragnarok himself is a Thor clone, and I believe Tony created him off of a strand of Asgardian hair. And maybe Tony's not the one that clones him. Maybe Steve and, Bucky find him and like, oh, this is some bull right here. Hydra's going too far. We got to shut this down. And Tony walks in and is like, oh, okay, this is kind of fucked up. But once again, you didn't sign the Accords, friend. That would be really cool. There's almost no rumors of Thor even possibly showing up. Maybe Ragnarok is not just a Thor clone, maybe an Asgardian clone. Everybody has this little clone theory with that little pod. It could be a Quicksilver clone. You never know. But like I said, just a cool nod to the comics, a possibility, but highly doubt it. The next Hydra guy that, some people actually think is in there is Red Skull. Possibility, but let me just squash this real quick. Last time we saw Red Skull, he touched the Tesseract, the space gem, okay? He is in space. If he is alive in the MCU, he is in space and more than likely getting grabbed up by Thanos, okay? That's just, it's a rumor, so I put it in the video, but that's not Red Skull. Red Skull is in space if he's alive in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A thing I want you to keep in mind with all these rumors is that it's already been said by Chris Evans that this somehow links directly to Infinity War, and I do not remember who said this, but somehow this movie also sets up Ragnarok. And that's another reason why I think that the Hulk will be there. What else are you setting up with Ragnarok? But for our last little theory, I saved the last because these don't really make sense to me. A lot of people think that that's Abomination in there. Just a couple of obvious things I need to point out for you guys real quick. Abomination is Hulk sized. That guy in that chamber is not. Clearly, you don't have to squint. You don't even have to zoom in. You don't have to break out your handy dandy notebook. Do no detective work. That's not Hulk size, okay? Well, maybe he reverted. He's the Abomination, okay? One of the perks to being an Abomination is that he cannot change back to human form. He cannot. It's not that he chooses not to. He cannot. Okay, he's an abomination. He is a blight. He is disgusting and just a nasty creature. He's not that small, okay? Now, a lot of people say, oh, what about the Shield quote? They could very well still have Abomination. Abomination could show up in the movie in a prison cell or in another thing, but that guy right there is not Emil Blonsky or whatever his name is, okay? He has to be Hulk size. He cannot revert. It just does not work that way. He is the Abomination. Please don't forget the name Abomination when you say Abomination. But those are all the theories, at least that I know of for right now. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share it with everybody so they can hear about these rumors too, because I'm pretty sure they're interested. And comment below, if you had to pick one to be true, who would you want to be in that chamber? Would you want it to be Quicksilver, Abomination, Red Skull, whoever, or just a guy in there like, help, get me out? Let me know in the comments below, and subscribe for all things Civil War and pretty much everything in the MCU. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll catch y'all later.